Prudential Bank. We're busy with our timelines. We're doing a little way backwards. We started off with the timelines, making sure that you understand the whole thing about grade 11 difference of grade 10 is that the interest rate is compounded on a different time frame. Not only yearly, like you were used to in grade 10, but now it's done differently. It can be half yearly, can be monthly, can be quarterly, can be daily, right? So first, question number D on exercise 4 says, Arista opens a savings account with a deposit of 50,000. That seems fine. A year later, she deposits another 25,000. Another 2 years later, she withdraws 10,000. 5 years after the account was opened, she makes a final deposit. So she's bringing money in and out, in and out. And what do you think? You must do that? Timeline, for sure. To see what's happening with this woman. She started off with 50,000 into the bank account. Then after a year, she deposited another 25,000. So plus 25,000 after
1 year.
1 year. So this is now 1 year later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then another 2 years later, she withdraws 10,000. So that means withdraw 10,000. How much time has elapsed? Is 2 years here. You are now on 3 years from the start. Because it's very important that you understand in the timeline. After 1 year you did something, after the third year, meaning 2 years in between, you did something else. And then they say 5 years after the account was opened. Where's 5 years after the account was opened? 2 years after this, you get to 5 years. So N is, again for that time frame there, alright? Then they say she makes a final deposit there of 30,000. And the account pays 3.5% compounded monthly. When? All the time. That's your interest rate. That is 3.5% monthly. So what do we write?
0.035
Divided by 12.
Excellent, because you were taught very well. Please write it that way, so that whenever you see this somewhere, you know it was 3.5% monthly. Now, everything must be months, because they go hand in hand, the I and the N. Remember, please, again, last time, that I is always R over 100, which means the 3.5 was over 100. That's how I got to
0.3.
Is it fine if you write 3.5 over 100?
Yes.
But please do it the way I taught you, so that you will always be able to figure out if your sum was right and where you fell off the wagon. Alright, so all of these dates must now be in terms of months. So this first time frame, because I taught you, every time that something happens, you've got a new
Interval.
So, time interval 1 was this one here. Why do I make a new sum? Something happened. I put money in, I took money out, put more money in. Did the interest rate change whatsoever? No. So for all of those, the interest rate's going to be the same. And for all of them, the time units must be in months. Could it have been that when I put in the 25,000 that the bank manager said, you're so cute, I'll give you another percentage.
Yes.
And then it can be quarterly, and it can be biannually, or whatever. So you must just keep track. In an exam, the good level sums are that there's no more than 3 things happening. There's a lot here. And that's not the end of the sum, we'll see just now. Because now, if the first question asked, immediately after the final deposit of 30,000, how much money is in this bank? First problem. Can I not say 50 plus 25 minus 10 plus 30?
No.
No, why not?
It's quite hard.
Because there was interest on that money for a long time on the first amount, for a lesser time on the second amount, for a lesser time on the third amount. Are you with me? That's why you've got to work out those interests on it. So this will not be for 75,000 when I put in the 25, because then the bank hasn't given me any interest. So for the first time interval, we'll do, and please at least write the formula once in your question. So you're starting off with 50,000 your interest rate, and our N is 12. Read this for me. The interest rate is 3.5% per month
12 months.
for 12 months. So when you read it here, it makes sense. Monthly for 12 months, because this was 1 year, so it's 12 months. Remember months, monthly, months, monthly. Answer please. 5, 1.
7, 7, 8, 3, 4, 7, 6.
Happy with that? Because we're not rounding off because a lot's still to come. Then we get to time interval 2. But in time interval 2, your P will be that amount plus 25,000. Can you do something like that in the exam for me? Yeah. I'm not going to give you the mark there. I'm going to give you the mark here when you say that that is 7, 6. Which you have in your calculator. You're not rounding off. You're not touching it. It's all there. Dot, 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 dot. So when you add the 25,000, that's what you get. So your mark is going to be for, yes, you did add the 25,000. This will still be, read it, 3.5% monthly for 2 years. If you write 2, what does it mean? 2 months. If this is monthly, then it's 2 months. It's not. It's 2 years, so it's got to be 24 months. Can you see where I'm going to give you the marks? For the I and the N and the answer. This time I'm not going to give you for the I, I've already done it. So I'm going to give you for the 24, but for the adding. And then an answer please.
82887,01.
No.
82337.
0,
0. Okay, dot, 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 because we're not finished yet. Then we here. What happens now? I'm subtracting 10,000 rand to go and do tires or something. And we've got time interval where our P is where you've minus it with 10,000. So our A is going to be 72,000. And none of it's changed on your calculator. You still got that big dot, dot, dot. Minus the 10,000 will be the same dot, dot, dot. And we've got, again, same monthly interest rate for a time limit of, again, 2 years, meaning 24 months. 24 months. So when you're reading it, please talk to yourself. You're not crazy when you do that in maths. Monthly, 24 months. Giving you an answer of
77574,138.
dot, 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 right? But the first question was, how much money do I have after 5 years? So what's happening in my third interval? I'm taking that money minus the 10,000 for 5 years. So this is here. At the moment, he's got 77,000. But what does he do then? He adds another 30. The question was, how much money is in the account immediately after the 30,000 is put in? So it's not that amount. That's what's in the account, but then I put the 30,000 in. So in the account, after 30,000 deposited is
107574,14.
agreed with her? Because we're rounding off now because that was a question. When they ask you a pertinent question, you round off. Do you have to have brains every week? I'd like it because you're busy with money, but I'm going to subtract marks from you for that. Okay. B part of the question says, please tell me how much money is in the account 7 years after the account was originally opened. So what's happening here? Here I am at 5 years. Now they're asking me, so what happened? Nothing. You left the money there. And the money is still gaining interest. So 7 years after the account has been opened, does that mean add 7 and I'm at 12? No. Read the question carefully. So that means another 2 years, in other words, 24 months has elapsed. With that account having the 30,000 in there, you're going to have 107 rounded off because we've had it there, still with the same interest rate. Can you see why I say it's not a good idea for an exam to do this? Because I'm testing the same thing 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Too much. 3 max. 3 max. And I would feel it's better if I put some money in and change the interest rate. Are you with me? Then there's 2 things happening that I can test. This is the same thing over and over. Put money in, take money out. Put money in, take money out. Answer please.
1
1, 1.
105 362,
3,
63, 39.
3, 9.
Yes.
Agreed? So the 3, 9, would it have differed if I didn't round this off? It might have. It might have. It didn't have to, but it might have. But the reason we do round off is if the question says find out after the 5th year how much money is in there, we will give them an answer in cents, not 1 for what commas. Alright, so that's the final answer. Okay, effective and nominal rates. They love to ask this question, but not so much. It's about a 50% chance. Grade 11 is the year that you actually study it, so it will most likely be in a test because we've got to test it. But a matric, it could be in the paper, it could not be. Remember, it's about 15 marks in the matric paper for all the grade 11 work plus the grade 12 work as well. So we're a little bit restricted. If they do ask it, it will be like a 3-mark question. Now the thing is about this, I have to be able to take effective rate into nominal rate. What does those words mean? First of all, the nominal rate is the, listen to my words, the number, nominal number. If you go to the bank manager doesn't say he'll give you 1% per month. He'll always say he'll give you 12% per year. Then he'll say, how will we compound it? You would love to have it by the second, by the day, better than by the quarter, better than by the month. Are you with me? The more frequently he gives me the interest, the quicker my money will grow. That's what effective interest rate is. So what we're doing here, I'm teaching you a formula to take nominal interest rate. Do you see what the formula says? I nominal. And this I, it's not the EFF, it's the effective rate. Are you with me? So, effective to nominal and nominal to effective. Just get the words first, because this is important. Nominal is the number that the bank manager will give you. Everybody will speak about 12% per year. But then how is it compounded? Now, if he says 12% per year, but he compounds it monthly, will monthly be better or will daily be better? Why do you say that? So you should get a little more. The more frequently he compounds it for you. Compounds is he works it out. So it's worked out, calculated, compounded, daily, monthly, yearly, whatever. Okay, yearly you don't want to go to that bank. You want to go at least to monthly, better for quarterly. No, not better, because then it's only 4 times a year. You with me? Biannually? Not better, because it's twice a year. Hourly, month, secondly, yes, I would go for that as well. Are you with me? The formula though says 1. So what is going to happen to the 1 in the formula? It's 1. Like all the time in all your formulas. The 1 is a constant, then plus the effective interest rate. So effectively, in effect, you should get a little bit more the more frequently the bank manager compounds it. Are you with me? You're going to get more money than me if I only get it monthly and you get it daily. Definitely. The effect is that you're getting a little bit more. But it's equal then to, and in a big bracket, you cannot leave the bracket out. Then it's 1 again. Maybe I should make this a big fat 1 over here. Can you see that it's a fraction? And then the 1 in the front of it. Because otherwise you're going to maybe want to start writing 1 plus over the whole thing, over m, and that's wrong. Now M is a mysterious new thing I'm putting in there. And I'm using M because everybody uses M. You could just as well use anything. But we're using M because everybody else does. Now M I'm explaining to you here. In your sum, when we're going to do it now, you'll see. M is the number of times that interest is done, calculated, in 1 year. It doesn't matter whether the sum says that you're banking at this bank for 70 million years, for 20 months, for 30 months, for 3.5 years, it doesn't matter. M is how many times a year, exactly. If I say you're only banking for 6 months, doesn't matter. Calculating the interest rate from effective to nominal will always be in a 1 year ratio. So I'm always asking how many times per year will you get interest? Even if you only put the money there for 6 months. How many times is it for 1 year? So now tell me quickly, give me the answers here. If I tell you that M is the number of times the interest rate is calculated, and I tell you that it's done monthly, how many times are you going to do it in a year?
12.
Fantastic. Will it ever change?
No.
Never. If it's done quarterly, how many times are you going to do it?
4.
If it's done biannually, semi-annually?
2.
If it's done daily? So that means those two M's are exactly the same. It can never be something else. If this one is 4, that one can be 12. Okay? If the one is 12, the other one's got to be 12. And if it's 12, it had to have been monthly. If it's 4, it had to have been quarterly. That's it. That's the recipe. You've got to know it. Even if the sum said you are putting the money in for 6 months, it doesn't matter. You're still going to work out how many times would that be in 1 year. Because we're trying to, the number that the bank manager is giving me for 1 year, to relay it to semi-annually, biannually, whatever, and see what the effect would be. Okay, so let's look at a question, 3 more questions. Change a nominal rate of 10% into an effective rate. So if you read that, you must know formula. Who's going to give you the formula? If you don't know it, you're not going to get these marks. First thing you're going to get a mark for is knowing that 1 plus I, the EFF, I nominal, over, please make sure that you don't write this wrong, because you're going to get into a habit then wrong, of M. And the M is how many times in 1 year interest is done. So now first of all tell me, I'm giving you the nominal rate, and I'm asking you for
Effective.
So this is the question. I can't give you both. I'm either going to give you effective and ask for nominal, or I'm going to ask you for the effective rate and ask you the nominal. Those are the 2 questions. There will be some tweaks, I'll get to them. But basically change effective into nominal or nominal into effective. Same formula. But this 10% goes where? By the nominal. So the nominal one must be 0, comma. Are you still with me? 10% R is still I, 0, comma 10. But now, tell me what the M must be. Exactly. Where must the 2 be? There and there. There cannot be anything different there and there. That's the way that the formula works. Are you with me? Because it was semi-annually. Then its M is 2. Can't be anything other than that. Not according to the syllabus. Alright. And then on the other side, I didn't leave much space here. You actually need a little bit more, but okay. Can I get this answer?
Yes.
Can you immediately tell me what IEFF is? How? Take this whole thing, brackets and all, work it out and say -1. Do I need to write that? Do you need to write that? It's going to be for using the formula correctly and for the answer. Maybe even just 2 marks, because this is the easier one of the 2. So if you get your answer, I know it's going to be 0, comma. Because then I'm going to time it with 100 to get to the R. Are you with me? If I've got R, how do I get to R? If I've got R, how do I get to I? Divide by 100. If I've got I, how do I get to R? Times by 100. What's the answer, please?
0,1010.
That's it.
Is that it? Okay. Please don't round off, because you're going to still have to time this with 100, because I didn't ask you for I asked you for the interest rate. So I need R effective, which then will be 10, 2, 5. And if there was more digits, please write them, because the next one will influence the 5 or not. And that's going to be 10,5% per annum or per year, because it's always nominal and effective is per annum. But then we say how it was compounded. Now tell me, what do you see from this? In effect, they gave you 10% nominal, but in effect, you're getting a little bit, because the more frequently they compound it, the more it will be. Now also something logical to test. If this was 10% and you got 20%, yeah, you should have thought, It'll be a little bit more, but not so that much. Think about the logic, all right? That's it, 3 marks. Substitute in the correct one. Usually for the N is a mark. And then for your answer, it might be 4, but usually it's 3. Okay, so let's do an effective one. Take it to nominal. So you just have to read which one has been given. Sometimes they disguise it a little bit, but you're still going to have 1 plus I effective equals 1 plus I nominal over M. Always write the formula down, because it's worth a mark, or maybe not, directly or indirectly. First of all, what's the M? The M is? Okay, but I don't know what nominal is. That's my question. Find the nominal one. I have the effective. So the effective one was what? So I'm writing, please sit still. 0, 1, 2, 3. Are you with me? Will you be able to go and do that sum for me? Okay? How? You calculate that, and you root it by power 4. 4th root of the answer. Get the answer. And then first take the minus, then take the times 4. You cannot choose its order of operations. Just finish that one for me for tomorrow.